Lesson 4. Using DQCsys Client View Functions. DQCsys Client View. In this lesson, we will review how to view extracted data points, how to use data filters, and then how to export data so that we can view it with Microsoft Excel. Our DQCsys client has already been started. First, we need to extract the data. Let's click on Setup. Let's leave our server database connection, profile and process set to default. Let's also keep our parameter filter disabled, but let's enable our datetime filter. Let's keep our dates set to default and let's search for the data. And we found 1,661 samples. Let's extract the data. And now, once the data has been extracted, we can directly go to View window, or we can plot the data first. Let's plot it first. Let's go to Project Filter. And in the project filter, we can see that we have data for a couple of projects. Let's filter so that we only have the data for our project test 3. Let's filter the data. Let's change our moving range chart span so that it starts at the beginning of our first sample. On our chart, we can see that we have 2 points that are below our lower specification. Let's go to our View window by clicking View Filter button. In this window, we can see the raw data that we have extracted from our SQL Server. But that data has already been filtered so that we only see data for our project test 3. We can export all that data so that we can open it with Microsoft Excel simply by clicking Export button. Let's select where that file will be saved and let's give it a name. Export 1. And data has been successfully exported. We can use filters so that we only see the data that we are interested in. As we noticed earlier, we have 2 points that are below our specification. Let's see those 2 data points. Let's use our filter and set data point is less than, and given value, let's change it to lower spec limit. And let's filter the data by clicking Filter Data. And we can see 2 our data points that are below lower specification. We can export those 2 data points by simply clicking Export button. And let's name that file Export 2. Our filters can be set so that we have either single point filter or window filter. And we have various case scenarios that we can choose from the filters. That also includes given value that we can specify. For single point, we can use one given value. We can also press on default data and that will retrieve our data that we have originally exported from SQL Server. When we exit from our View window, we can also replot the data that either we have retrieved or the data that we have filtered. Let's replot all the data. Let's minimize our DQCsys client and let's open our exported data. For our first export, it was named Export 1. And that's the data that we have exported in our first export. And let's open the data for our second export. And those are the 2 points that were below our lower specification. And that concludes our lesson 4.